Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, in today's session, we'll be seeing a very important topic, and that's called queues. So, the name queues, we have used it in our day to day life. Go stand in the queue if you want to get your next ticket, something like that. So, in a daily life, what is the most common instance that you have seen in queue? For instance, all of us would have gone to movie theaters, bought a ticket, right? So, suppose that there is a ticket counter. Okay, and there'll be a lot of people standing here. So what do? Is that if at all this is you and you're coming from here, you join yourself to the queue that is present. The queue follows a first in first out structure. You can also call it as last in last out structure. What does that mean? It simply means it's a first come first serve basis. If you go in the front, which means you are given the first preference, right? You get the ticket first. If you go in the last, then you get the ticket at the last. This is how a queue is basically going to work. Okay, so after this person, the front person gets a ticket, he moves away, and then the second person in line comes front, right? So this is how a queue is going to work. So looking at the same concept in a data structure manner, what can we use for the data structures? That we can use an array, right? An array to represent these men. So these are the men. They'll be standing here. Okay. Yes, so this is our array. So now this is a front, the frontmost element in our array, and this is the rear end. Okay, so a queue is going to have two ends. One is the front end, and the other one is the rear end. Now there are two operations for the queue. So what are these two operations? Is that the first one is the NQ operation, and the second one is the DQ operation. So what is this NQ and DQ is that the NQ, as the name itself suggests, is the entry for the queue. And the DQ, okay, the DQ is deletion from the queue. Okay. So how do you make the entry towards a queue? As we already saw, right, you go in from here and you attach yourself to the last. So the insertion is done this way, and the deletion is basically done from this end, right? The last person will get deleted from the first. Okay, so the insertion is done in the rear end and the deletion is done from the front end. Okay, so this is what you will have to know for the basics of queue. So the queue is going to have two ends, one is the front end and the rear end, and you will basically have two operations, one is the NQ operation and the DQ operation. So in this session, we'll be looking at these set of questions. The first one is the array implementation of queue. So what do you mean by the array implementation of queue is that I'll help you out with doing the queue structure, the insertion, deletion, how do you basically implement it using an array. But this array concept is going to be actually very difficult, right? Because in times of interview, you can't go on implementing each and everything step by step. So that is when the second one, the STL comes into picture. So the STL helps you to implement the insertion, deletion, popping of things very easily, okay? And the third one is queue using two stacks, wherein the NQ operation is made costly. And fourthly, we'll do the same question but with DQ operation made costlier. Fifthly, we'll reverse a queue using stack. And lastly, we'll reverse a queue using another queue. So with that, the queue playlist ends. So see you in every session. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Bye bye.